Hey everybody, welcome to another one of my videos, and this video is kind of like my Friday routine. Generally we like to do wings, pizza on Fridays. Sometimes I throw in brownies. Usually it's the Ghirardelli mix from Costco, but I don't have any, so I felt like making brownies, and this is a recipe from allrecipes.com. I'll link it below. It's called Brooke's Best Bombshell Brownies. They were absolutely amazing. I made them in my Vitamix because I'm lazy and it has self-clean and it's always on my countertop, but I would not recommend doing that. I would probably just use beaters in a bowl the next time. It was a little thick and hard to get out of there. I'm just melting butter in my oven, because I don't have one. And yeah, this is my trick, not in the recipe, but even with my mixer, I let the eggs and sugar beat for an insanely long time, like 10 minutes. You want it to be pancake batter, and that helps to get that like delicious crackly top if that's what your jam is. So I melted the butter in the oven in the pan that I'm using, just using a silicone brush here to kind of grease the pan, really is what I was doing. Pour that very carefully into my mixer, mix that all up, and then I was adding the rest of my ingredients here. I used to make brownies pretty much every week when I was pregnant. That's probably why I gained so much weight. So I've since stopped doing that, but my mind now puts together Friday nights as pizza, wings, brownies, and I need to like try to, dissect that from myself, because I am trying, like everybody, to lose a couple pounds. I have been essentially the same postpartum weight after about 3 weeks from Tilly being born, which is just insane. It's an unhealthy amount of weight to be holding on to, but as you can see, I'm doing not a whole lot to help the situation. So I'm just putting everything away, getting this in the Vitamix. This was probably one of the most expensive tools in my kitchen, but worth every single frickin' penny. I actually leave it on my countertop, which makes me use it even more. Smoothies, muffins, pancakes, eggs, I use it all the frickin' time. And I am just scooping that out. Doesn't that look amazing? I love brownie batter. I'm not gonna lie, off camera I ate like a spoonful of this. It was absolutely delicious. Very thick for a brownie batter, might I add. Like I said, it was the first time I've ever made this recipe, but I just smeared it all out, and I usually put chocolate chips on top, but it's the Valentine's Day season, and I had some of these delicious just M&M's Valentine's Day colors, so I chucked those on top and then baked it off in the oven. This is my new favorite thing, kind of, sort of. My stupid dryer doesn't work. We've had it cleaned and a whole bunch of stuff, so especially big things like towels, they will take, I'm not even exaggerating, 5 hours in my dryer, just repeatedly turning it on, turning it off, turning it on. So I throw them outside, especially if it's like, this is the winter when I'm doing it, so it does take a little bit longer than it would take in the summer, but this is how I do towels now. I throw them out. Doesn't that look amazing? And then I resist the urge to cut right into them and let them sit till it was dinner time, till we had some. Also, just pointing out, I use my screened-in porch as like my cooling area, my cooler. Anybody else do that? My grandma actually used to do that. These brownies were so good. They were so fudgy, as you can see in there. Absolutely delicious. They did not last.
I have to say cheese.
You have to say cheese? That's a good idea. Okay, let's see.
Cheese.
So another little project that I wanted to get done here on this wonderful Friday is it is the dead of winter. My hands are so dry, especially with washing dishes constantly. So I follow a couple YouTubers. One of them is Farmhouse on Boone, and the other one is her sister, Oily House, The Oily House. She had this recipe for a non-greasy whipped body butter, so I wanted to give this a try. It uses mango butter, which I had never used before. The ingredients are just a little bit different, and then it includes some arrowroot powder towards the end, which is supposed to help absorb some of the greasiness when you're applying it. And all these ingredients I got on Amazon. I'll link her video down below if you wanted to try making this. I fully like it. It doesn't shock me being dramatically different than the other body butter that she has, but all of them I use daily, and I feel better using them versus you know, a commercial lotion kind of a thing. All the ingredients I know, I'm making it myself. I have my little helper here, and it comes together so freaking fast. This makes the best presents too. I've given this body butter to my sisters, my girlfriends, my cousin who had a baby. It makes a really nice belly butter because it kind of melts in your skin like M&M melts in your hands, and doesn't pull or anything when you're trying to put it on your belly when you're pregnant. So I mixed everything up here. The only difference from the Oily House recipe, if that's what you want to call it, is she melts it over a double boiler, which you're going to see me do, and then chucks it in the freezer for a few minutes and then whips it with an electric mixer. Every time I do that, I forget about it and it freezes rock hard, and then I have to wait for it to come to room temperature or I melt it again. So you can see right there, just little chunks ready to go. I put that on a double boiler. It almost starts melting immediately, especially little small batches like this. Look at these little face. Look at this little face, my little munchkins. And Mo's around here somewhere. So once that melts, and I'm telling you, it just takes a couple minutes, I put it over a bowl of ice water, and that's when the recipe said to add your essential oils. In this particular one, I was doing tea tree oil and some lavender oil and vitamin E for the first time. I think it's vitamin E, or is it vitamin D? You see in a second here. It is vitamin E. Vitamin E. So I put just a couple of pumps in there. This is a brand new bottle. It took like forever for it to come out. And then I add that arrowroot powder I was telling you about. It's supposed to help absorb some of the oil so it's not so greasy on the skin. Honestly, I really didn't notice that much of a difference, but I put it in there. And then I just whisk it by hand because it really honestly does not take that long. I'm going to say like 2 to 3 minutes, honestly, with a size this much. This